What up guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Rob, and in this video I want to talk about what I eat in a day, almost every single day, to maintain my current physique, which is about 185 pounds and 10% body fat. It's important to know that what I eat because I like it. Excuse me. I eat it because it's sustainable, and I eat it because it works for me. And it's going to be a little bit different for every single person. I'm not saying you copy my exact diet plan and macronutrients because I'm me and you're you. But you could take things from this video, hopefully, take some value from it and add it into your own journey, add it into your own fitness regimen, into your own day of eating, and I hope it helps. So let's get to it. Meal one. My breakfast, yes, breakfast, in a world where breakfast is becoming increasingly more demonized for whatever reason. It's almost like they treat you like some kind of a pussy if you eat breakfast. I eat breakfast. I enjoy it. You don't have to eat breakfast. It's definitely not the most important meal of the day. That's bullshit. But I like it, so I eat it. Here's what my breakfast consists of. It's 100% vegan, and that's not by choice. I have half a block of tofu. I have a protein shake, a blended protein shake with half a scoop of oats. I have some whey protein, vegan. And I also put some spinach in there and I salt it up, and I also add my creatine to it. I down that. And on the side I have half a grapefruit, lots of antioxidants, and they're delicious. And I have some cranberry juice, 4 ounces of real cranberry juice from Trader Joe. I do it for the iodine because I try not to get sick even though I'm just getting over a cold. But it's rare. I don't get sick that often. And that's meal one. The reason I have a vegan breakfast, and that's not on purpose, this breakfast, the reason I structure it like this is because over the years I learned that when I eat like this, about an hour and a half before I go to the gym, I feel good. I perform the best. I don't feel full and like worn down or held back. I have no bloat. I feel good. I drink a lot of water, as you should. That should be a staple. And that's meal one. And I'm going to add some macros and all the actual macronutrient stuff on the screen so you could see it, just so you know what's going on. Anyway, when I come back from the gym, that's when I have my biggest meal of the day. And that consists of some ground beef. I go to Trader Joe and I get a 96.4 lean ground beef. It's packed with protein, very little fat. It's a little dry, but you can get around that. It's like that because there's so little fat. And what I do is I have 1 carton of that a day. So if there are, let's just say there's 16 ounces of meat, I slice that in half, and half of that portion I have at some point in the day, and I have the other portion a little later in the day. So I'll have some ground beef, then I'll have a whole plátano, or plantain, however you want to call it, maduro, say it however you want. And a lot of people say that they're not healthy, but that's bullshit. They're very healthy. If you fry them, they're not healthy, but I don't fry them. I slice them thinly. I sear them, put some salt. They're delicious. Great source of carbohydrates and a great source of potassium, which are things that you need to get in micronutrient-wise on a daily basis. And that's the basis of my meal. I also have a very large protein shake alongside that. So this is a very carb-heavy meal. My shake consists of 1.5 cups of oats, 1 scoop of vegan whey, some spinach, and a whole orange. And again, I'm going to leave the macros on the screen. This is a big meal. And for those of you that think I might fall into a carb coma because of it, I don't. Actually, I feel super energized. If you train with the proper intensity and you come back from the gym and you have a high carb meal, I think people forget that because your body is so in need of the glycogen replenishment that all those carbs are just going to kind of sit and float around in your system. They get absorbed if you train hard enough. That should be a lesson to you. Train hard. And that's meal 2. A couple hours later, like 4 or 5 hours later, I'll have meal 3. And that's similar to meal 2, but just in a much smaller portion. I'll have the other half of that portion of ground beef, 96.4 from Trader Joe. I will have a shake again with half a cup of oats and a scoop of whey protein. And that's it. Much smaller meal, similar to the one I had after the gym, but a little bit different, in a much smaller quantity, as I want to be able to spread my stuff throughout the day as best as I can. And then before I go to bed, that's right, before I go to bed, I do eat before I go to bed, and it has absolutely no effect on how much weight I lose or gain. And it won't for you either, so just remember that. I have the other half of the block of tofu that I had in the morning. I'll have 2 whole eggs. I'll have 1 Chobani yogurt, usually a cherry. That cherry is so good. You gotta try that. And then I have 4 ounces of orange juice. Just a splash before I go to bed. It's like dessert, especially alongside the yogurt. It's so good. And again, I'll leave the macros on the screen. That's my full day of eating. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of food. Kind of is. But you also have to remember that when you're eating clean, like actually really, really clean, and I almost never eat anything outside of very clean, the amount of food volume is going to be really high. That's why people, when they say that they're afraid to diet because they think they're always going to be starving, I look at them and I tell them that it's nonsense. If you know how to structure your diet correctly and you tend to aim for foods that are not super dense in fats, you can get a lot more bang for your buck in terms of your overall food volume. And this just makes it easier to diet because it's more satiating and you're just eating more food. So when people are afraid that they're going to starve to death, it's just not true. You're not going to be starving. I'm telling you. Now, if I were to reduce these calories, because let's just say I wanted to lose weight and cut, and I wanted to get leaner, yeah, I might be a little bit hungry, but I'm not going to be starving to death. I'm still going to be consuming a lot of foods that are high in food volume. It's going to be a lot of food. Really hard to get hungry like that. So anyway, overall, with these 4 meals combined and all of that food I just mentioned, I'm only consuming 2,700 calories, approximately. And that's what it takes to maintain my current body weight and body fat percentage. 2,700 calories. Now, it's important to understand this. Let's say you wanted to maintain your current body weight, whatever it is, and you went to McDonald's and you had some nasty shit off the menu, and it was only 1 meal, and you ate 1 meal a day, and it was a burger, some fries, and I don't know, some egg McMuffin shit that they have there. That could be 2,700 calories in one small meal. Then you'll be hungry. Because not only will your body be craving more of that garbage, none of that shit is satiating. You're going to be starving. You're going to be hungry right after you eat that, which causes you to eat more than that, and then more than that, and that's how people start getting heavy and gaining weight. So this whole weight control thing is really not that complicated. You just need to be able to structure your diet accordingly. If you can find foods that you like, that are nutrient dense, high protein, lower on the calorie side, which if you tend to eat things that are not super high in fat, they will be lower on the calorie side. You can eat a ton of food every day, fulfill all of your micronutrient requirements, fulfill all of your macronutrient requirements, and be totally satiated. And support your workouts, and support your recovery, and support your health, and support your goals. All of it. All of it at once. Without eating like garbage and without suffering. Because dieting, the word dieting, gets a bad rap. Because when people think of diet, they think of sacrifice and deprivation. And that's not the case. It's only sacrifice and deprivation and torture if you do that to yourself. This is on you to structure your diet correctly. I hope this helps. I hope this kind of clears things up. I hope this kind of gives you an idea of how you can eat and why you might want to eat this way going forward. It can only help you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment down below. Like the video, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. Peace, guys.